Good morning. Good morning to y'all. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. Today is Thursday. It is September the 19th. You know what that day is? It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. I'm not going to do that for you anymore. But throughout the day, sprinkle them in. If people know, they know, and they're cool. If they don't, that's sad for them. But yes, it is Talk Like a Pirate Day. It is also the day that we look at fantasy and science fiction books that have been published this week. And if there's any time left over, we will be looking at more cozy mysteries because there's always a lot of them. Hope you had a good night. And let's see other announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I do them 3 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and then the Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern. And the one on Saturday goes for 5 hours. So a total of 10 hours of sprinting each week, along with looking at 75 plus new releases each week. What a bargain! And it's free. All you have to do, if you care to, is hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. It helps out. And I forgot to put my banner up. There it is. I was excited because, along with Talk Like a Pirate Day, I have signed up for, you know how obsessed I am about crochet right now. I signed up for a crochet blanket summit online that is jam-packed with stuff. It starts today, so I was just doing some making sure I can access the website and so forth 5 minutes ago. So I'm excited to look at what I can learn from that. Good morning, Cajun. Hey, sweetie. I have a few days off, so I get to join. Awesome. Days off. Wow. I love that. I love that for you. So we are looking at fantasy mostly because there's very few science fiction anymore, but it is SFF, science fiction and fantasy. Well, that sounds interesting, the Blanket Summit. Yes, and apparently she's done this before. And I upgraded so that I can access it whenever I want to instead of just for the time of the summit. And it also gives me access to previous years. I saw the one in 2023. I don't know if that was the inaugural one or not. But once I get done with these gifts, I'm not doing the Christmas gifts anymore because we added a new guy and I just don't have time. So I'm going to focus on finishing the wedding bedspread. I have until October 19th. I have a month. A Christmas shawl for my mom, and then there's a wedding in March. But after that, after I get past at least the October one, I want to focus on the stuff I want to learn now that I've gotten a lot of the basics down for the last year. I want to learn Tunisian crochet. I want to learn mosaic crochet. I want to learn interlocking crochet. I want to learn how to do socks, ultimately clothes. So I'm ready, willing, and able to move on. All right. Fantasy. Let me close. Oh, I did. Okay. I have more than the usual tabs up at the moment. A Dark and Drowning Time by Alison Saft. Lorelei Caskell, a folklorist with a quick temper and an even quicker wit, is on an expedition with 6 eccentric nobles in search of a fabled spring. The magical spring promises untold power, which the king wants to harness to secure his reign of the embattled country of Brunstadt. Lorelei is determined to use this opportunity to prove herself and make her wildest, most impossible dream come to become a naturalist, able to travel freely to lands she's only ever read about. The expedition gets off to a harrowing start when its leader, Lorelei's beloved mentor, is murdered in her quarters aboard their ship. The suspects are her 5 remaining expedition mates, each with their own motive. Well, I would also think people who are, the crew member, the captain, and so forth. The only person Lorelei knows must be innocent is her longtime academic rival, the insufferably gallant and maddeningly beautiful Sylvia von Wolf. Now in charge of the expedition, Lorelei must find the spring before the murderer strikes again and a coup begins in earnest. But there are other dangers lurking in the forests that rearrange themselves at night, rivers with slumbering dragons waiting beneath the water, and shape-shifting beasts out for blood. As Lorelei and Sylvia grudgingly work together to uncover the truth and resist their growing feelings for one another, they discover that their professor had secrets of her own, secrets that make Lorelei question whether justice is worth pursuing or if this kingdom is worth saving at all. Well, life is always valuable. Just saying. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Off today to go to a lunch at the place I retired from. Oh, nice. Will be nice to see old friends and colleagues. Is that the library? Mary Cajun, good to see you. And morning, Mary. You are becoming a crocheting maven for sure. I'm trying. I'm very much enjoying it, but also, should the zombie apocalypse happen, I have a skill and they'll let me live. Mary, our Kim fell the other night and will be having hip replacement surgery today. Yep. If you could keep her in your thoughts and prayers, I'm sure she will appreciate it. Thank you, Cajun, very, very much. Yep. She fell during a sprint and we were all very worried, but she has kept us in the loop and she is having hip replacement surgery today. So she must have been able to get into a room because she was still in the ER yesterday morning waiting for a room. That is no fun. And yes, we are sending her loving thoughts, healing, so much white light of healing energy, God's love, universal healing energy, whatever it is that will help you, we are sending it. An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. That's an interesting cover. Lennon Carter's life is falling apart. Then she gets a mysterious phone call inviting her to take the entrance exam for Drayton College, a school of magic hidden in a secret pocket of Savannah. Now, if you get one of those calls, wouldn't that be like a scammer trying to get your social security number and things like that? I would think so. Lennon has been chosen because, like everyone else at the school, she has the innate gift of persuasion, the ability to wield her like a weapon, using it to control others, and in rare cases, matter itself. Speaking of which, all these young people who get to go to these academies and secret so forths, they never talk about how that's being paid for. After passing the test, Lennon begins to learn how to master her devastating and unsettling power. But despite persuasion's heavy toll on her body and mind, she is wholly captivated by her studies, by Drayton's lush, moss draped campus, and by her brilliant classmates. But even more captivating is her charismatic advisor, Dante, who both intimidates and enthralls her. As Lennon continues in her studies, her control grows and she starts to uncover more about the secret world she has entered into, including the disquieting history of Drayton College. You didn't have questions before? She's increasingly disturbed by what she learns, for it seems that the ultimate test is to embrace absolute power without succumbing to corruption. And it's a test she's terrified she's going to fail. Well, then don't succumb. Bringer of Dust. I'll definitely keep her in my prayers. She has had one thing after another, it seems. Yes. Hope it all goes well and keep us posted. Lots of prayers for her. Indeed. It does seem that way. Oof. This is by J.M. Miro, second in the Talents series. Agrigento, Sicily, 1883. With the Orsine destroyed, Cairndale lies in ruins and Marlowe has vanished. His only hope of rescue lies in a fabled second Orsine, long hidden, thought lost, which might not even exist. But when a body is discovered in the shadow of Cairndale, a body wreathed in the corrupted dust of the Druger, Charlie and the Talents realize there is even more at stake than they feared. For a new Druger has arisen, ferocious horn, seemingly able to move in their world at will, and is not alone. A malevolent figure, known only as the Abbess, desires the dust for her own ends. I've got lots of dust. You can have my dust. And deep in the world of the dead, a terrible evil stirs, an evil that the corrupted dust just might hold the secret to reviving or destroying forever. So the dark journey begun in ordinary monsters surges forward from the sinister underworld of the London exiles to the mysteries of a sunlit villa in 19th century Sicily to the deep catacombs hidden under Paris. Against bone witches, mud glyphics, and a house of twilight that exists in another world all its own, the talents must work together if they are to have any hope of staving off the world of the dead and saving their long lost friend. Indeed. This one has a very 70s rock album vibe. Evil in Me. Yes, dust and cobwebs, and I haven't even decorated for Halloween. Look at all that power you're wasting. It's power. This is by Brahm. Just Brahm. Apparently, this is an artist, Brahms' immersive paintings and brilliant end papers. Aspiring musician, told you, rock. Ruby Tucker has had enough of her small rural town and dysfunctional family, but a falling out with her best friend and bandmate has killed her dreams of escaping and making it big in the Atlanta punk scene. Do it on your own, find new bandmates. While helping her eccentric neighbor organize his religious artifacts, an ancient ring clamps down on her finger. I hate that, possessing her with the spirit of a bloodthirsty demon, as it does. There's no exorcising it unless hundreds of people chant a spell to set Ruby free. Oh, so that's what rock and roll is all about. I think this happened to Taylor Swift, but don't hold me to that. And what's worse, the ring is a beacon for evil, drawing an unimaginably wicked mob straight to Ruby, hungry for her flesh. If Ruby can get her band back together, she has a shot at salvation. It's time for her to face the music and put her whole soul into a song, one powerful enough to raise some hell. End of row one. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, first in the Fear the Flames series. As a child, Elowyn Atara was ripped away from her dragons and imprisoned by her father, King Garrick of Imarath. Years later, Elowyn is now a woman determined to free her dragons. Having established a secret kingdom of her own called Astilion, she's ready to do what's necessary to save her people and seek vengeance, even if that means having to align herself with the commander of Veraveth, Caden Velis. You know he's a good guy because his name is Caden, the most feared and dangerous man in all the kingdoms of Reverin. Does he know you have daddy issues? Caden is ruthless, lethal, and secretive, promising to help Elowyn if she will stand with him and all of Barvareth in the pending war against Imarath. Despite their contrasting motives, Elowyn can't ignore their undeniable attraction as they combine their efforts and plot to infiltrate the impenetrable castle of Imarath to steal back her dragons and seek revenge on their common enemy. As the world tries to keep them apart, the pull between Elowyn and Caden becomes impossible to resist. Working together with their crew over clandestine schemes, the threat of war looms, making the imminent heist to free her dragons their most dangerous adventure yet. But for Elowyn, her vengeance is a promise signed in blood, and she'll stop at nothing to see that promise through. Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. Belladonna Blackthorn hasn't lost her magic spark, precisely, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. With her witchcraft under wraps and a toxic boss making her days miserable, Belle is struggling to keep her beloved lunar books afloat and just make it through the day. The last thing she has time for is perfecting her magic. So when her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle fears the worst. With only the month of October left to prove herself or risk losing her magic forever, Belle will need all the help she can get from the women in her life, from an unlikely mentor figure, and even from an infuriating coven watchman who's sworn to protect her. I do like that cover, though. The Lies We Conjure by Sarah Henning. They always compare things to Knives Out. Ruby and her sister Wren are normal, middle class Colorado high school students working a summer job at the local Renaissance Fest to supplement their meager college savings. You're not going to make money at a Ren fair. So, when an eccentric old lady asks them to impersonate her long absent grandchildren at a fancy dinner party at the jaw dropping rate of 2 grand each for a single night, Wren insists it's a no brainer. Make some cash, have some fun, do a good deed. But less than an hour into the evening at the mysterious Hegemony Manor, Ruby is sure she must have lost her mind to have agreed to this. The hostess is dead, the gates are locked, and a magical curse ensures no one can leave until they solve both her murder and the riddles she left behind in just 3 days. Well, at least it's not a storm. It's always a storm. Because everyone else at this party is a powerful witch, and if the witches realize Ruby and Ren are imposters, the sisters won't make it out of Hegemony Manor alive. Now, I am an older person, Gen X. I did not know that Logic was a hip hop artist. I don't listen to hip hop, but this hip hop artist has written apparently a second book. This is called Ultra 85. In the year 2115, when the earth is no longer habitable, the remainder of humanity lives in Babel, a giant space station. Two pilots, Quentin and Kai, must find the planet Paradise, where only the most promising citizens are allowed to live. On their journey, Quentin and Kai encounter Quentin's estranged father, who left Babel for Paradise when Quentin was a child, and they discover just how different Paradise is from what they imagined, and how they must change it for the better. End of row 2. I have a lot of comments, but I'm going to keep them to myself. Kim, how are you? Cajun says, how you doing? Thank you, Cajun. Plan is for 2 o'clock. Okay, that's Eastern time. Okay, slept good last night. Oh, good. Yes. Sending prayers and healing thoughts to you. Sorry to hear of this latest mishap. You will conquer this too. Absolutely. She is a strong woman. Did wake up around 5 to bathe me with the antiseptic stuff for surgery. So you can't get dirty between 5 and 2. I went back to sleep afterwards. Absolutely. I've had really nice. Okay, Eastern. Thank you. Ugh. Nurses. A Song of Ash and Moonlight. Claire Legrand. Let us know how it goes afterward. You know you will. We know you will. The Middle Mist Trilogy, book number 2. The old war is over, a new one is just beginning. The curse plaguing the Ashbourne and Basque families has finally been broken, but Farron, the eldest Ashbourne daughter, still struggles to find peace. Unflappable and tireless, her composure masks a seething sorrow. Since her mother abandoned the family, Farron has been their rock, managing her father's temper, running the estate, keeping tight control over her dangerous musical power, and ignoring her own need for rest, distraction, and most of all, love. In Rider Basque, Farron's stubborn strength has met its match. The man infuriates her. He's coarse, arrogant, annoyingly handsome. He's as tired of their feuding parents as she is, and he brims with some secret anger that mirrors Farron's frustrated rage. But Farron must work with every ally she can, even the man she has been raised to hate. With every rising dawn, the Middle Mist weakens further. Anointed magicians are disappearing. A fiery, olden creature is stalking Farron. Strange visions haunt the High Queen Yvain, and as Farron and Ryder race to find stolen loved ones, they begin to realize a horrifying truth. The gods are not dead, they're waking up, and someone is hunting them. Which them? Hunting the gods, or them as a pair? The Ascension of Light by Ryan Kirk, third in the Legend of Adani. The heroic spirit burns hottest when all hope is lost. Still reeling from the losses suffered defending the gathered ground from the Debrew, Elian Reluctantly assumes the mantle of leadership from his friend and mentor. He knows now the true power of his enemy and knows too that humanity lacks the strength to fight back. The other elders, aware of their impending doom, begin to unravel the frayed threads of alliance that have held the wandering clans together. Samara is no less troubled, and she clings to the faint hope that somewhere hidden deep in humanity's history there's a secret that might save them. As her desperate search begins, she uncovers secrets aplenty, but none of their answers she seeks. To shine a light into the darkest recesses of the human heart, to bring truth to a world cloaked in lies, to survive an enemy even stronger than they imagined. The siblings will need to burn brighter than they ever have before the light of humanity is snuffed out for good. Hey, at least they're siblings this time, and not two sisters this time. But it's different. It's siblings, and it's a brother and a sister. It's completely different. Sparktopia by Ja Hus. Spark is light. Spark is magic. Spark is power. Spark is everything, and it blooms inside the bodies of Tau City's young women. Once a decade, in exchange for enough power to keep the city modern and comfortable, a spark maiden must be sacrificed to the mysterious tower god in a ritual called the extraction. That doesn't sound good. 10 maidens are chosen, but only one enters the tower as a sacrifice, never to be seen again. The 9 leftovers are elevated to celebrity status and spend the next decade living in the luxurious maiden tower, wearing couture gala gowns and partying with the city's most interesting and beautiful people. So you don't want to win. Every young woman in Tau City wants to be a spark maiden because the odds have always been in their favor. Where did they get that from? Until now. One by one, the greedy god has summoned the leftover spark maidens into sacrifice. When Clara Birch, spark maiden number 9, gets the call, she fully expects her fiance, Finn Scott, the extraction master's son, to save her. Spoiler alert, he's not going to. At the same time, a rebellion is brewing. The forgotten underclass is plotting the end of the god in his tower with strategically placed rebel spies that will bring it all down. Jacina Bell is a young woman on a mission to make history, and she will stop at nothing to get the fame she deserves. When Clara is forced into the tower against her will, she makes an unexpected discovery. There is no god, just a man, one willing to do what Finn Scott wouldn't, save Clara Birch, even if it means destroying the entire world to do so. Yeah, go ahead. Save me, but if you destroy the world, that's fine. I'm saved. But yeah, I give it points. It's interesting. No making mud pies. I know. Really nice nurses. Good. That absolutely helps. Darn Mary. I know, right? Ah. All right. That is all we have time for. And that is the fantasy and science fiction for this week. Best that I could find. Tomorrow's Freeform Friday. We'll probably be looking at more cozy mysteries because there's tons. There are tons. Very enjoy your lunch, Kim. Hugs and love to thank you. Have a good day. See y'all back at you, baby. And remember, talk like a pirate day. Work something in. Sure seems to have gone fast this morning. Thanks. Good luck to Kim and hope you have a great day. Absolutely, everybody. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 2.5 hours worth. So have a good day, everybody. Please take care. Sending you much love. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.